South Africa say they will wait until legal challenges are completed before arresting Jacob Zuma. Last week, the former president was slapped with a 15-month prison sentence by the Constitutional Court for his failing to cooperate in a corruption inquiry. Now, according to an official from the ANC, Zuma is exploring all legal avenues to reduce or drop the sentence. For more on this story, we can go across to Sam Bradby standing by in Cape Town. Sam, the High Court in South Africa is hearing an appeal from Jacob Zuma today. What are we expecting to come out of that?
That's right. The High Court in Pietermaritzburg, which is in the east of the country, is holding a virtual hearing, really, to hear this challenge made by Mr. Zuma against the 15-month sentence. Essentially, what he's asking for is for the execution of his arrest to be halted for the time being. Now, Mr. Zuma has repeatedly argued over the course of the past few days that he's too old to go to prison and that he's too ill to go to prison, and that such a sentence, the 15-month sentence handed down by the Constitutional Court, would essentially be a death sentence for him. So he's trying to get that arrest halted. The police, as you mentioned already, have said they will not move to arrest him before he has the chance to be heard by the court. Although it's worth mentioning that this hearing happening virtually in Pietermaritzburg will continue on Wednesday, and it's not clear whether the arrest or whether a potential arrest could take place immediately after this High Court hearing or after a later hearing, which is happening on July the 12th at the Constitutional Court, which is the highest court in the land.
I want to ask you about that because I want to know if today's verdict will sort of hold a precedent for that appeal that's scheduled on the 12th of July.
Yeah, it certainly could. And you have to bear in mind that this is really one of the most important events in South African kind of judicial history. For many looking on, the rule of law and constitutional democracy itself is on the line. And so, yes, the ruling at the High Court could potentially influence the outcome of the appeal at the Constitutional Court. Although the devil is in the detail here. At the Constitutional Court, Mr. Zuma is calling for the sentence to be rescinded altogether. At the High Court, he's simply asking for the arrest or the execution of the arrest to be halted. And now, ultimately, the Constitutional Court does hold precedent because it is the apex court in the country. So while it is important what's happening today, it's worth bearing in mind that ultimately the decision of whether Mr. Zuma will go to jail really lies in the hands of the Constitutional Court.
Okay, Sam, thank you very much for that. Sam Bradby reporting there for us from